What do we have at the foundation of the reading? Five of Pentacles, Taurus energy at the foundation of the reading. Right now, the energy inside the collective is very heavy. A lot of you are really going through it. I've been noticing quite a lot of similarities in a lot of the comments that I've been seeing underneath the videos lately. What I started to realize is that all of you are going through a very similar energetic upgrade right now as we speak, which really speaks about who all of you are and how important you are with the shift that's taking place right now. The astrology, world events, everything else that's going on in each one of your individual lives is enough to get anybody to want to just give up. But that's just it. That's its whole purpose. There's a force at play behind this. And all of you need to stay very strong and understand that you're not the only one going through this, that there's thousands, if not millions, that are going through maybe not the exact same events as you, but very similar energetic storms. And it's very important that you know that you're not alone. See, the enemy, which we're just going to put under one giant umbrella right now, because it's going to be different for each one of you, needs you to give up. The energy wants you to feel like there's no hope, that nothing can ever be better or nothing can ever be fixed. But it's a lie. It's an illusion. And the reason why you are all feeling this energy so strong in the here and now is because the enemy is about to be obliterated. However that shows up in your everyday reality. Right now, Spirit is speaking to you through the animals, through Mother Nature, through signs and synchronicities, and it's very important that you pay attention. The first download I received for this particular reading a few days ago was about crows that are bringing you all a message. After I got that, I thought, well, that's very specific. But it was immediately followed with it just being a message of you paying attention to your energetic surroundings, to how Spirit and Mother Nature and the world around you, outside of the grind of our everyday lives, is communicating with you. Quite a lot of you have some serious decisions that you need to make in your life right now. But most, if not all of you, have the answer right in front of your face. And it's time that you accept the truth and step into this new timeline and release these chains that have been binding you to this old way of doing things. Five of Pentacles is an energy for this kind of reading that I'm picking up on here of a poverty mindset. Everything I just said falls under the umbrella of this Five of Pentacles. Feeling like there's no hope, that there's just no way to overcome the storm that you may be facing right now. But if you can just stop for a moment and think about what I am suggesting to all of you here in regards to many other people going through what you're going through in all different parts of the world, and that you need to be very strong right now and push forward because you are a part of a web of individuals that are going to help create the shift, well, it should be enough to regain some hope and at least push through and fight another day. Because even though these energies have been heavy, they are starting to get a little bit lighter for all of you. In fact, I felt that when the sun shifted into Libra, a tremendous amount of pressure had been lifted. So simply put, when you're feeling down and when you're feeling like your hope has run dry, just remember that the reason you're feeling that way is because of the energetic storms. It's not you. It's not actually how you feel. The projections have just become so strong that it can be all-consuming right now. But you, and you only, have the control within you to say no more and not allow that energy to overtake you and make you feel like you can't push forward anymore. What do we have at the sacral, please? Wow. Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy at the sacral. Five of Pentacles to the Magician. They may as well be complete polar opposites that I'm looking at right now. A lot of this projective energy that you're feeling is because the path that all of you are on that we're all on together, is creating a worldwide awakening. You know, there's this theory, it's called the 100th monkey syndrome. And it's this idea claiming that a new kind of behavioral pattern or idea is spread by unexplained means from one collective of individuals to another in critical mass with seemingly no connection between the collectives. Now, simplifying what this means speaks directly with what I'm trying to convey to all of you. But it's like 50 of you on one island going through a spiritual awakening, and then 50 people on another island, let's say on the other side of the planet, all of a sudden start going through a spiritual awakening with no connection between the two islands. Now, when I first heard about this 100 monkey syndrome a while back, I was floored because it really spoke about this energetic web that connects all species. So in our case, an energetic web that connects all humans through the ether. So why am I telling you all of this? Well, the reason why, because what all of you are going through right now in your everyday waking lives and these storms that you're having to navigate, which is all a result of the awakening that you're going through, by the way, is having a global effect. And you can't deny that you can't see this all around you. It's all over media. It's everywhere. The planet is shifting. And all of you that have been putting the work in for God knows how many years, all of you that have been fighting against these principalities, all of you that haven't really been able to put a single face on what it is you're even fighting, you just know you're fighting something, are the reason for this. You are the pioneers of this global awakening that's taking place. And this magician right here is you having a better understanding based off what I'm telling you about why a lot of you may be feeling the way that you do. It's because you're on the front lines. Your manifestation abilities are the reason why this shift is taking place to begin with. So if anything, this reading that I'm only 2 cards into is meant to give you an injection of hope and encouragement to keep pushing forward because you, yes, little old you that may be listening to this, are actually making a massive difference. You are a part of this incremental shift that all of us are going through right now. It's very important that you hold the vision, and it's very important that you start to understand your position in all of this and not back down, no matter how that may look for you right now. And it's interesting because even though we're all feeling this way, you're actually in high manifestation mode right now. It's kind of like, well, birthing pains, right? You know, we seem to think that unless we're feeling footloose and fancy-free, that we're not actually manifesting. But you also have to understand that there are these highs and lows that we feel through the manifestation process, especially when we're manifesting together on a global level. You know, when I think about manifestation, I think about the things that I'm manifesting into my own reality. And then I also think about what I am trying to help manifest globally. I mean, there are obviously things that go hand in hand together. But if all of you can start to think about it in terms of this energetic web that I'm suggesting to all of you, it should give you a better understanding of how this goes down. See, we are the custodians, so to speak, of this earth. You are here to create balance inside an infrastructure that was assigned specifically to you, however that looks for you, in your own waking life, on your path, on this planet. That's what you need to do. When you are doing your job, your purpose, and working toward doing this every single day, well, that adds up to all the other people spread out across the planet that are doing the same, and we create a wave of awakening, a wave of calibration. What do we have the solar plexus, please? 7 of Pentacles, Taurus energy at the solar plexus. This season that we're in right now, we are all being tested. Now, this is going to show up as anything and everything that is trying to keep you off path and to throw you out of energetic alignment with your path and your purpose. Chosen people will fight tooth and nail to overcome the 7 demons of possession that are running rampant on this planet. Those demons use magic. That magic is the 7 deadly sins. And not many, if any, have escaped this magic. And the infected spread it like a virus. These are the 7 weapons that are used against all of us to keep us out of alignment with our purpose. We've all faced every single one of these 7 deadly sins at some point in our life, and we will continue to face these attacks. No one's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. But your awareness of what's taking place here is the most important part of fighting this battle. You'd be surprised how many people just don't want to accept the truth, right? These are people that would rather stay asleep and indoctrinated to the system of control than accept the enemy that we are all fighting against. But I'm telling you right now, the sooner that you accept this, the sooner that you adjust your perception on how energy and this world really works, the sooner you will start to feel relief from these principalities at play, because they do not want to be exposed by you. They want to hide in your life, incrementally speaking. And that's how they get us, is in increments. Those people, those exes trying to come back from your past, trying to keep you bound in some toxic relationship that is not in alignment with your purpose, that does nothing but create stagnation on your path. This narrative that's being pushed about what success actually is and how to attain it, it's all false. Success, wealth, whatever that means for you, is created by providing value to people. Finances, stability come as a result of that. That space, which can be called your purpose, what you were chosen to do, is how you bring balance inside the infrastructure of the reality that you were assigned to. That's why a lot of these true heart's desire, or these God-given talents and gifts that you have been armed with by the divine, in a lot of cases are seemingly hard to succeed at. People around you don't really support it. You always feel something trying to derail you from moving in this direction. This is why I always tell people, when you know, on a gut level, when you have that thing screaming to you from within your heart that you know you're supposed to be doing, it's very important that you go after it with everything you've got and you never give up. Because that right there, that true heart's desire, is directly connected to your mission here. And these principalities are going to work through the people around you. They're going to work through your family members, the people that, well, they're NPCs, I'm sorry to say. Most of the families that you were all born into are not even close to being awake to what I am trying to present to all of you here, nor would they ever even be able to compute what I'm saying to all of you here. You were incarnated into this life cycle because you were meant to break the chains of generational bondage that has been plaguing the family that you were incarnated into for a very, very long time. You are a black sheep. You are a golden child. You are a chosen one, and you are hand-selected for this mission. And when you are hand-selected for a mission like yours, your path is going to be different. A lot of you are loners. A lot of you just can't seem to align with a partner to walk down this path with you, because you're not meant to be with just anybody. If you're going to be with somebody, you need to be with somebody else who's also chosen, because anything less will see you relinquishing your mission here, and it's not worth it. The way I'm reading this Seven of Pentacles right now is a little different than I would usually read it, but the imagery, the illustration speaks about these downloads I've been receiving. It's like these 7 pentacles represent the 7 deadly sins, and there's a spirit back there, right? It's like you're focused on that, or they want you to be focused on that. See, each one of you have different spirits from the underworld that have been assigned to you to work meticulously in your life to keep you stuck inside an illusion, to keep you stuck inside the matrix. When I first heard that, before I really understood this, I always found myself thinking, like, why, what, me? I couldn't feel more insignificant at that point in my life anyway. And that's what the precursor to this truth always feels like, because that's where they want you. When you awaken to this truth and you look back at that time in your life, you start to recognize how strong the spell was, how strong the illusion was. Because anybody who has been through what you've been through that feels that way has an absolutely ginormous purpose at this current time on this timeline we are on. And just to be clear, when I deliver these kinds of messages to all of you, I want to try and help bring some hope into your life, because the stronger you become, the stronger I become. We're all in this together. I'm much better off if the person to the left and the person to the right of me are stronger and more aware of what's taking place here. Most, if not everything you have been told about how this world runs and what reality really is is false. But I do feel that you're becoming more and more aware as we're navigating this current terrain. What do we have at the heart, please? Eight of Wands, Sag energy at the heart. This Eight of Wands is also reading a little bit deeper to me than just the regular Eight of Wands. Yes, the Eight of Wands represents movement. Can also represent downloads and information, which can speak about what I am delivering to all of us today. But what I'm really getting from this Eight of Wands has to do with what I just said about all of us marching together, right? It's like this is representing the movement of us as a collective, that web, right? The energy that connects all of us together. All of us having this understanding. And all of us doing whatever we can to fight against the principalities in each one of our own waking lives to help create the shift. Now, this salamander here that is outlined in what looks to be a kind of cloud represents rebirth. It's as if it is starting to materialize as all of us shift together. Now, that salamander is going to represent many things, but for the sake of this reading, for me and what I'm feeling, it just represents the shift. It represents the new timeline. It represents what all of us are fighting for. And it represents us getting a win here. And it's also speaking about these true heart's desires right there at the heart chakra, pushing forward in this direction, no matter what obstacles are placed on your path. Now, when it comes to things that you feel called to do, you have to understand that if it's in alignment with your highest good, then the divine is going to clear your path for you and help you push forward through those obstacles. But it's got to be in alignment with your highest good, okay? There's going to be some of you out there that are listening to this, and what you want to do is not in alignment with your highest good and the highest good of the collective. You just need to reorganize your approach into something that is going to provide value for other human beings and is in alignment with the highest good of all. If you are always manifesting from a place of just wanting to help other people, your manifestations will always come to pass. This is the key to manifestation, the highest good of all. In fact, that should always be an element of how you manifest, whether you use a journal, whether it's something you speak out loud, whatever it is. End it with for the highest good of all. Because when you do this, you're sending an energetic signal out to spirit, out to the universe, that you get it, that you understand enough of what's going on here to want to do your part. What do we have at the throat? Two of Wands, Aries energy at the throat. You know, it's very difficult to make it through one single day without being sucked back into this matrix, into this illusion, because we're being bombarded every second, every minute, every hour of every single day. It's everywhere. The principalities are working overtime right now to keep you all mainlined into the illusion, into the lie. But if you're constantly doing things to try and improve yourself, your circumstances, your health, your connection with spirit, if you're constantly working to try and break behavioral patterns that are not in alignment with your highest good, and you're keeping a universal perspective over your life at all times, then you can navigate these energetic storms that we're all facing at current. But you have to take time out. You have to check in with yourself, check in with Source. These messages are here to remind you of this. And the difference that we make as this collective here of people that are listening to these videos just can't be measured. If all of you are actually doing what I'm suggesting here, you will quickly see the change that we are actually making globally. And that sounds wild, right? But I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've seen it in my own reality. I've seen it around the world. I'm obviously not the only one doing this, but we're definitely making a difference. You know, when you think about the fact that I think they say that there's like a couple of hundred people, I could be off a little bit, that actually run the world, right? Like 200 something people are able to have an influence over the billions of people on this planet. Think about what 150,000 of us could do, especially when it's for the highest good of all. And in this Two of Wands, there you are, right? You're staring at the planet from this higher perspective. Everything I've said here, the energetic web, right? The global shift that all of you are helping with right now, and the understanding that when you're feeling down and low, there's a whole collective of us that feel exactly the same. What do we have at the third eye? Eight of Cups, Pisces energy in reverse at the third eye. And this speaks about everything that I've mentioned up until this point. This is an energy of depression, and it's an energy of feeling hopeless. But it also speaks about your need to confront the truth, accept the truth about what I'm saying. That's how you overcome this. See, the enemy just wants you to be drifting aimlessly away from your intended path. The enemy wants you to walk away from your mission. The enemy wants you to settle in and mainline these 7 deadly sins. And our entire reality is constructed around these 7 deadly sins. Everything. So this can make it very challenging. But that's just it. It's not meant to be easy. That's why you were sent down here for this mission. That's why you were hand-selected to be incarnated into this particular life cycle, because you were the one that Spirit knew would be able to get the job done. And these principalities that we're all fighting against in our everyday waking lives have a cyclical way of coming after us. It's like there's a pattern to it. It's going to be different for all of you, but it's there. That's why it's important to take the time out and gain perspective, right? I remember before I understood what I'm presenting to all of you here, there were these patterns that were unfolding in my life. They were undeniable. It was going on it took me about 20 years to wake up to it. It started when I was very young. I always had this sense that I was imprisoned, but I couldn't quite understand or put my finger on what I was feeling. It's like that feeling when you think that there's like a dark cloud following you around, that you're plagued with bad luck or things just never go your way. That's how I felt. And then once I really started to go inward, I had convinced myself that if there's a kind of mechanics at play in my life, and it's gotten to the point where it's so undeniable, then there must be something systematic that is in control of this. And that's what really led me to want to dig deeper. I started to study energy, the Kabbalistic tree of life, the tarot, astrology, just every bit of information that I could get my hands on that spoke about our origins, I absorbed. And when I resurfaced, I felt this unbelievable new lease on life. I remember thinking to myself, wow, I think I found the keys to life. That's what it felt like to me. I felt like I knew how to heal myself. Now, there's a tremendous depth to everything that I'm speaking about here, but the whole point of what I'm trying to explain to all of you here is there's a reason you feel that way. There's a reason that those things are happening. You need to take a step back. Say to yourself, hold on a second here. There's something much bigger at play here, because there is. Every chosen individual on this planet was incarnated into a energetic prison cell because they knew you were coming, so they were prepared for you. Your entire life up until this point has been you trying to wake up to this, find your way back, and get yourself out of that energetic prison. This global awakening that we're going through right now is all of you coming out of that energetic prison. That's what it is. And that's why they're going in so hard. And because we are about to send them straight back to hell. What do we have at the crown, please? Unbelievable. Hangman. Pisces energy at the crown. So everything I just said there is best represented with the hangman, okay? Because the hangman is all about perspective, looking at things from a different perspective. understanding that you were a born sacrifice without even knowing it, and that restrictions were placed onto your path by those you considered closest to you, because the principalities were using them as extensions, whether they know it or not. Unfortunately, a lot of those people are just NPCs. They're just a part of the mechanics of this reality that have a predestined path and cannot be saved. A lot of you, if not all of you, are being called right now to let go and move on. There's big changes ahead. This rebirth is underway. Your purpose as a chosen individual, first and foremost, is to battle against the principalities that seek to keep you stuck inside an energetic prison and have you mainlining these 7 deadly sins, which have a direct effect on your vibration and your energetic signature in your reality. Your vessel, which houses your true nature, mind, body, your spirit, is the one thing that you have full control over. So that's what you must first master, what you have control over. Once you do that, you create influence by way of your self-mastery. They want you focused on everything that's external to you to keep this truth, the only truth, hidden from you. What do we have at the foundation, please? Ah, Hangman again. Bifrons. But I read this card in its negative polarity. I just heard very clearly. At the core, when you strip away everything that I've spoken about up until this point, they want you to renounce your spiritual belief in who you are and what you came here to do. This is what this all comes down to. They want you to give up. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's better we all die on our feet than live on our knees. There are no cowards here. If you can take on this mindset, the enemy, who is the real coward, will flee. The enemy won't come against you. The only thing the enemy has is this black magic that they inject into the collective to try and get you all to give up. But it will never conquer the will of the divine. But they'll keep trying in hopes that one of you will give up. And the thing is, it's not even really giving up. It's more defecting. Once you relinquish the mission, it's literally you being initiated into the opposing force because there's no in between. A lot of people will argue this. That's okay. But these individuals will simply be folded up into the fabric of time. You'll never hear from these people again. They'll just fall by the wayside and disappear. There's no being lukewarm anymore. Where we're going, that no longer stands. This 5 of Pentacles stacked with this Hangman right here is a clear representation of this illusion that they've been trying to keep you trapped in. That represents that cyclical cycle. That right there is a clear representation of that black cloud that you feel like just follows you around. And it's a clear representation of the pattern that all of you are beginning to see play out in your lives. This is a karmic cycle here. Karmic cycles can be good, they can be bad, they can be in between. We all have karmic cycles that are at play at any moment in our life. You can get into a karmic cycle with food, you can get into a karmic cycle in relationships, and on and on and on. But the kind of karmic cycle that I'm picking up on here is much different. It's generational. It's the kind that has a way of completely stagnating you on your path and stopping you from stepping into your power. What do we have at the sacral, please? Beelzebub. Gluttony. The moon right there at the sacral. Following what I just said, it really adds a bit of color to what I am trying to convey to all of you here. It really shows the incremental nature of how this energy can show up in your life. This energy of excess, right? But it's coming out at the sacral, which represents lust, energy of hedonism, lust and gluttony. But when you mix the two together, it can speak about much more than the extreme side of physical contact. It can really speak about lusts for different kinds of addiction, right? Whether it's foods, substances, spending money, gossip, greed, it just all begins to mix together. And I feel that that's what we're seeing right now. It's like we're being bombarded with this. I challenge all of you. Look at everything in our waking lives. And I bet you can put each one of those things under one of these 7 umbrellas. Now, The positive things in your life, the 7 heavenly virtues, can also fall under one of these 7 umbrellas. Everything in our existence is basically going to fall under one of the 14 umbrellas. So when you start thinking about the mechanical nature of that and how it is at play at all times in our lives, you can begin to have a certain amount of self-empowerment that you start to feel with the realization that this is how our lives work, the mechanics of our lives. So in saying all that, again, very important. This is really being highlighted in this reading here because it's going to help all of you as well navigate this rough terrain, so to speak, that we're dealing with at the moment. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? 2 of Cups, Cancer energy at the solar plexus. Very interesting. Gluttony, envy. There's this very jealous energy that I'm picking up around all of you, family, friends, even people you've dated. You need to avoid any individuals that are trying to start any sort of petty quarrels or arguments with you at this time. Run away from drama and toxicity like it is the Black Plague right now. Not that you should deal with this any other time, but there's something about this current time that even entertaining these kinds of energies right now are going to have a really negative impact on the overall well-being of your spirit. You know, it's like the smallest thing happens right now because there's this almost oversensitive kind of energy inside the collective right now. You just want to give it all up, right? Over one tiny little thing. So it's like making a mountain out of a molehill right now. So in saying that, protect your energy and just stay away from any sort of confrontation. In my mind's eye, this is such a weird vision. I see 7 witches sitting around a bubbling cauldron, and they're all chanting, "Give up, give up, give up." What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. Paimon. This is the Queen of Wands in its negative polarity. Deception. 7 witches sitting around a bubbling cauldron could definitely be represented with this Queen of Wands in its negative polarity. This is a very cold, aggressive, mean-spirited kind of individual or individuals, whoever this may represent in your life or your current set of circumstances. It could also just represent the principalities at play. There's many different levels to this reading that I'm picking up here. I'm picking up quite a large collective energy that is just speaking more generally on what you all may be feeling and going through. And obviously there's going to be differences within the details of all of your current set of circumstances and what you may be experiencing individually. But the way I read is energy, and then we place the energy within events or connect it to people that may be in your energy. But as we can see here very clearly, there's this 8 of Wands, right? I just heard again, 100th monkey syndrome, right? So there we all are, right? Shifting, creating this energetic web, helping the planet to awaken. And then there's this energy here, deception, which is working in the shadows to stop us by any means necessary. And the weapons that they form against all of you are going to show up as one of these 7 deadly sins. That's how they get you, because you don't see it coming. Our environment is infected by these 7 principalities, so to speak. The spirit, the energy of those things is what they're using to knock us off our path. And then we have Haziel, divine forgiveness, which is the Hierophant. God and all of your spirit guides showing up in the reading to let you know that you're not alone. I just heard they're very proud of you, whoever this is to you. So I just heard that, what I mentioned in regards to breaking this generational karma, right? It's like this is representing your ancestors who have handed down their wisdom to you to help you break the chains that bind. You see, that's what I really think generational wealth is. Generational wealth isn't just a pile of money. Sure, I guess it can be, but I'm speaking more about energy here. Generational wealth is when you wake up to the true nature of who you are, that you were chosen for something specific here. You allow your ancestors to arm you with this wisdom. That wisdom allows you to break the chains that bind, the chains that have been keeping your family lineage in spiritual bondage for God knows how long. When you do this, you are given access to more wisdom, to downloads, to ideas. It's all of that you use on your path to provide value to other individuals who may be going through similar on their path, which then brings through the material wealth, right? That's what everybody wants to hear about, right? Material wealth. And there's nothing wrong with that. We live in a material world, so we need material wealth. So material wealth is relatively important, but there's a trajectory to this, right? There's a framework to this. And what I'm suggesting here as well is much more grounded in reality. It's obviously much more meaningful, and it's obviously something that, without a shadow of a doubt, is connected directly to the reason why you're even here to begin with. What do we have at the throat, please? 3 of Swords, Libra energy at the throat. Riel, the quickly forgiving God. Love and submission. Cures illness, influences paternal love, gives long life. So here you are on the other side of this now. What it says right there about cures illness, this is your realization of the tactics that they're using to keep you off your path. See, all it takes is acceptance. Again, none of us are perfect. We're always going to fall victim to one of these 7 deadly sins, whether it's big or small. Hopefully, you don't allow any of them to completely consume you. But living inside of this third density is very difficult to do without coming in contact with them. I mean, look, unless you're a monk sitting in a temple somewhere and meditating for days on end, it's unavoidable. But again, the awareness of it is the key here, because the awareness of it allows you to catch yourself, and that's what it's all about. But overall, there's an energy here of healing coming through, which is a result of this deeper understanding that all of you are beginning to have now about what is actually going on here. And I have the 5 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck here, just like I have at the beginning of the reading. But this 5 of Pentacles is different because this 5 of Pentacles speaks about hope. The complete opposite of that 5 of Pentacles that we started the reading with. What do we have at the third eye, please? 2 of Wands, Aries energy. Again, so we have it twice now at the third eye. Jalil, the helping God. Love and wisdom. Victory over those who would attack you, right? And whenever I get this card, it's like you're holding your pulse there, and you look kind of a little worse for wear, a little tired, and you're looking back at all of this, and you're like, oh my God, was that even real? This is you accepting the truth, right? That everything I'm suggesting to you here is what's taking place energetically. This is what we're actually dealing with. This is what is essentially behind the veil. The veil is everything that we see in our everyday waking life. The veil is hiding the spiritual war that is taking place behind the scenes, so to speak. But this is you pushing forward in power, in your power, breaking these generational chains that bind, and finding success on the other side of it. You see, all of these things are connected. People just want to know when they're going to have success in their life, when they're going to have wealth come through. It's all on the other side of this. See, as chosen individuals, we need you to get to the other side, right? Step into your mission, accept who you are, and then you're given access to all of this. This all comes with ease, but you can't access this from inside these spaces here because you have to self-empower. You basically are becoming an example of what true faith looks like. You are a spokesperson for the divine, so to speak. So you have a huge responsibility here. But with that huge responsibility also comes endless rewards, which are actually in alignment with the highest good of all. not just your ego, right? See, goes back to everything we're speaking about here. The principalities want you to manifest from a place of what's best for your ego. What do we have, the crown to close out the reading? Seven of Wands, Leo energy, Re-IL at the crown to close out the reading. The expected God, liberation, deliverance from enemies, both visible and invisible. Wow. So that really speaks about the principalities, the people that you may be coming up against in your everyday waking life. These individuals here want you to give up. They want you to feel overwhelmed, right? Goes all the way back to what we were speaking about at the beginning of the reading about how everybody right now just feels like giving up, right? Because that's exactly how they want you to feel. You're not the only person who's feeling that way. Everybody's feeling that way, right? It's just too much work. I can't do it. It's all a part of this worldwide spell, I'm telling you. So just know that when you're feeling this way, you're not the only one in the collective that's going through this. All you have to do is go under one of my videos and just read the comments. You're bound to find somebody there who feels just like you. Simply put, in closing, there's an electricity that connects all of us together. And if you can remind yourself that when you're feeling down or when you're feeling like it's too hard to push forward, it should be enough to snap you out of that space. And don't you forget, that's where the principalities, that's where the enemies want us all. So don't fall for it. It's only a spell. And the reason why you're feeling it is because of the tremendous impact of your purpose and your path, and the whole reason why you're even here to begin with. This is the message I have available to all of you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations. Take care.